Hi everyone. So today we're going to be going over selection and sensing from scratch. So selection is a, a concept where you have to basically judge whether a condition is true or not. If something is true, then a sequence of code will execute. For example, if let's say the cat is touching an apple, then it's going to say something like that. If it's touching something, or if that's the thing, it scans. So I'm going to demonstrate this in a project. So I'm going to create a new project and name it selection. So I'm going to show you two things from sensing. So go to sensing and then grab touching mouse pointer and touching color. For this, I'm going to get a background. So I'm going to get the I'll get the baseball 2 background. So I'm going to show you what we can do with these two using selection. So let's get something like an apple. So I think we covered this last session, but the repeat until, I'll be using that. Or actually, yeah, okay. The repeat until. So repeat until touching apple. So I want you guys to draw attention to this. It's gonna scan. If it's touching the apple, it's gonna stop what's happening here. So until it touches the apple, it moves 10 steps. After it's done, right, if it scans that it touches the apple, it's going to move on to the next step. And it's going to say, I'm going to eat the apple. So I'm going to get when green flag clicks, the cat is going to, until it touches the apple, it's going to keep going forward. Alright, once it touches the apple, the next block will execute, which is the say block. Gonna keep going forward until it touches the apple. Once it senses it, gonna go say, I'm going to eat the apple. So there's another way we can. I'm gonna show you a use of the forever block. So when the flag is clicked forever, alright, forever it's gonna sense if, right, it's gonna sense if it's touching the color. Now I'm gonna show you how we can do this. If it's touching, let's say if we touch it, make it touch the grass. So I'm gonna use the eyedropper. I'm gonna get the color of the grass. So forever, if it touches the grass, it's gonna say, I'm touching grass. So it's basically sensing if. That's the major concept. So let's see. I'm touching grass. It scans, right? If it's touching the grass, it says that. And just because it scans what color it's touching. And because the color of the grass, the color here, if it touches the color, it says it. This is what we can do with sensing. Now, I'm going to show you another Scratch concept called broadcasting. So, let's say we want our cat to eat the apple. The apple is going to have to hide. There's a block called hide. This will make the apple disappear. Watch this. When I click it, it disappears. So we want the apple. I'm going to press show right here. Or you can, if you want the apple to show again, you can just press I. So I want the apple to activate this hide button once the cat eats it. So watch what I can do. So I'm going to change to I'm eating the apple. So the cat is going to keep moving forward. Once it touches the apple, it's going to go into the next step, right? Senses for when it says the apple. And so I'm going to say, I'm eating the apple. Now, watch this. If we want to activate the code of the apple, we can send it a message. So, go to events and say broadcast message. I'm going to name it cat eats apple. So, now what happens is we can go to the apple, and when it receives the message that the cat eats it, it's going to hide. So watch this. I'm eating the apple. It's going to broadcast a message. Watch what happens. Once it receives a message, it hides. So that's a broadcasting in Scratch, pretty much. It allows us to send messages so that other sprites can receive them and activate their own code. It's a way that the sprites can communicate. So, right, one sends the message, and one waits for it. Once it receives a message, it does the code. So, that's the broadcast. And then, gonna think of any other blocks we need to any other important blocks in Scratch instead of the sensing and broadcasting. So let me just go through this really quickly. There's a couple I wanted to show you. So this is a play sound. So let's say whenever the cat touches the apple, it will play the sound. So we start our program and we have a forever loop. Forever, right? It's gonna scan. If the cat touches the apple, it's gonna say play a sound. So I'm gonna put it into a forever loop. When the flag is clicked, forever it's gonna scan. If it's touching the apple, then play the meow sound. You guys don't hear it probably, but it plays a sound on my end. So that's the play sound, and it will just play whatever sound you want. You can go to sounds and you can get more sounds from here. You can choose from all of these, and it can play a sound when something happens. So if it's touching the apple, it can play a sound. That's for the sound, and I think that's really all the basic blocks of Scratch that you'll need to make any code or game. So I'm just gonna look back one more time just to see if there's any other important code. Okay, I think that should do it. That's pretty much all the code I've given or I've taught that's necessary to make a basic Scratch program. So the plan for tomorrow is that you guys can tell me what project or one mini project to make, and I'll make it in front of you guys. Basically, this will allow you guys to see how I put together all the blocks that I taught you. And then you can hopefully get some inspiration or learn something, and then you can make your own Scratch program. So, all the basics. I'll see you guys next time, where I'll just show you putting together all the blocks to make basic programs, such as movies or games. And then hopefully you guys can do it yourself. So, I'll see you guys later.